And customers demand more. I mean, they demand a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
I mean,
and,
they
yeah.
demand instantaneous response and terrific customer service, all the time. And I think that's the greatness of this generation of technology that has brought us. Is
Right.
really, I mean, like this generation of technology boom is really about the consumer. The consumer has benefited a lot
Okay.
and get very spoiled with the
Okay.
with food technology. What has brought to us,
Right.
we can buy things and with a few clicks and it'll show up in the house the next day,
Right.
I mean, it changed the face and the choices we have,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Instead of what is available on the shelf, now we can pick the most specific items we're looking for.
Or
right?
now we can't even decide. There's just too many choices.
That's
So-
correct. That is correct, right?
yeah.
And I think you can't blame too many choices. Choices is good. Yeah, people
Yeah.
love choices, right?
No, that's
Yeah.
true. And so when you talk about this generation of technology, right? I mean, you've lived through different generations of technology, being a pioneer, for cloud and databases and so on. When you look at today's entrepreneur, and I know we spoke a little bit about the old dog and the new dog.
Yeah.
What do you see, right? Like and this is more applicable to, Gen Z, young professionals, and just the entrepreneur, like this generation you see. What do you see?
I think we're in a very magical age of enablement for building software in particular, hardware as well. A lot of it has to do with just open source libraries that widely available. So that part, I think, the level of sharing that's available in the world is unprecedented. So we can basically grab a library that is
Right.
pre-tested, pre-done, is proven
Just build something.
to build something on top of it.
Yeah.
So as a software engineer, there's almost no better time that you can cobble it up, and create your idea very rapidly without reinventing the wheel everywhere.
Right.
So I think that's a very critical piece. Two is, in the old days, just to get going, the cost of having your own hardware and software stack is extraordinarily expensive, right? You have to get a small server. You have to have sometimes proprietary operating system that eventually became free, and then your databases, and then the rest of the software stack. Those are all very expensive that you have to pay upfront,
Yeah.
right? Now you don't. Now you can rent it.
There's no managed
Right.
data. I mean, it's just
And-
cloud
and,
AWS.
And if it's you go through small trial and on demand, you can get more capacity,
yeah.
right? And there's no reason that you needed to buy anything more than you need.
Right.
That is all critical enablement for the world that has come about for us to be able to create a lot of software. Some would argue that maybe we're creating too many too fast.
Okay.
But how could that be bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so where do you see the trends going from here? I know it's a broad question.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind we're barely seeing the beginning.
Really?
I think this is one thing that I'll tell my mom. My mom is 89 years old. I'll tell her, so I get very lucky. So my sister is a lawyer. My brother's an
Right.
architect. Their industry has changed very little. It has changed some, but not
Yeah.
dramatically a lot. Software industry is very different.
Yeah.
The part that I'm lucky about is I literally have witnessed things that I have invented and put into production, scaled, get into the masses,
Yeah.
and see the end of life of them.
Wow.
And then new inventions has replaced them, and they've gone through another cycle. Few things you do in life, few industry career that you get into that you
Right.
can literally witness the come and go and the death and the revival of the things you do in such short interval.
Right.
That's magical. It really,
Yeah.
really is. So you pretty much have to assume everything that we're using today. I mean, it's so hard for people to imagine that I'm using the search engine. It's like
Right.
that my whole life is on it. That everything that I do is first thing I go to the search engine, right? And I can't buy anything but going through this e-commerce site,
Right.
right? And I cannot go anywhere but to click on this ride-sharing app. But you can almost guarantee all those will be replaced in our lifetime,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's astonishing, right? This is something that people don't think of.
And it just seems so natural.
It seems so natural,
Yeah.
right? And everybody in the technology industry, for sure, and even now we're
Right.
training the consumer to believe in the same thing, that it's okay, right?
Now, why do you think, that is? Because, one argument was it's atom versus bytes.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you see the legal industry, it's all ideation, and it's all in the mind as well.
Yeah.
So why is it that, our sector or the software industry has evolved so quickly, but finance is also still lagging behind.
Yeah. I think um, wealth creation is a very big part. So if you look at one thing that you can't argue is technology has created a lot of wealth for people.
Yeah.
So it attracts the smartest mind to go into tech for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at, I'm very involved with several universities around the globe. And you should look at the size of the engineering school and the rate of its growth.
Right.
It is such astonishing rate.
Right.
It's because that's where the money is. It's almost sounded too practical.
Right.
But it is the truth, right? What kids don't want to go for 4 years of college and don't get a job?
Yeah. Yeah.
So no matter how difficult it is getting an engineering school that you need a 4.7, 4.8 grade point average to get into a great engineering school, they know that at the end of that tunnel, after 4 years, their life is going to be wonderful. That's the beginning of their life being wonderful. How could you not, right? So I think...
but wasn't there money in finance in Wall Street? I mean, there's
sure.
money there.
Oh, sure. But I don't think it has the same velocity and the same pace and the same
philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philosophy. And also, this is available to the masses. I mean, we're talking about, 1,000 company goes into an incubator.
Right.
And tons of them has created millionaires.
Yeah.
So we're democratized, that.
Wow.
And we've created how many unicorns just in the past decade?
Right.
I mean, actually less than in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And how many billionaires have we created out of the process?
Immense,
right? So it works. So it shows that technology adoption can reach such masses that it deserves to have that level of rewards to the people, right? So I think that makes it extraordinarily unique. And that, I think, drives people to do the constant reinvention of the technology and changing of the model itself, right?
I believe Alan Greenspan had a term for it called creative destruction.
Right.
And it's this process of creating and dismantling and creating,
yes,
which creates more value.